Guys, breaking news. Kalshi just posted Ethereum now has a 40% chance to fall below $1,000. I don't think many people can fathom that, considering, and partly because Tom Lee was buying so much Bitcoin around $4,000. He's sitting in an $8 billion loss. I don't think people can fathom him being in a $16-17 billion loss and being so wrong and being so underwater. I think 1,000 sounds crazy to people, but when we looked at Ethereum on the chart, it's not so crazy, right? This is where we took our last batch of short positions, and look at the move down, right? It was pretty much one swift move to the downside over obviously many weeks, but the trend was just down, 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 down. There was no relief here. And then again, if we were to drag that over to here, look at the target, guys. It takes us literally down to $990. Can you imagine seeing ETH below 1K? And I'm going to talk about a crazier target in this video, because look at this broadening wedge we have here. And you're not going to like the target of this broadening wedge. Now, I don't think it potentially could come down there. I'm just saying, worst case scenario, we have this broadening wedge support, which is in crazy numbers, absolutely crazy numbers. So yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, since September 2023, the SMC bot has had 100% win rate, right? If you took the long position here when the SMC bot gave a buy signal, it gave a buy around 1.7, price went up to $4,000. So, that printed on, especially on leverage. The sell signal, not so great, but, you took a sell here, you still made money, you still printed on that. Buy signal here, you printed on that. Sell signal here, you printed on that. Buy signal here. We actually took a lot of longs here, right? We had a daily buy down here, and then the weekly sell flashed up here, which gave us more confidence that we were going to see upside. And then lovely resistance target here as well with this broadening wedge, which we've tapped 1, 2, 3 times now. So this should be a consistent level to watch going into next cycle. So if we do come down to 1K, we liquidate some of the longs. Going into next cycle, that could be a really interesting level to watch, guys. And a target, right? It could act like a magnet, and it could actually be drawn up to that price, which I'll be watching for next cycle. So yeah, it wouldn't be crazy to be 1K. It sounds crazy. $1,000 Ethereum sounds crazy, but why is it crazy? We were at 1.3K in a bull run. This was in the middle of the bull run, April 2025. We're at 1.4K, 1.3K in the bull run here. A lot of this pump here was actually Tom Lee, right? It was Tom Lee shilling, bringing in institutions, creating FOMO, creating loads of retail FOMO. Notice how he kept talking about Ethereum's having its early Bitcoin moment and comparing the prices. He knows full well the market cap was completely different at the time, which means that he's not talking to institutional clients or smart money. He was pitching retail. He was trying to get retail on board. Why would you try to get retail on board of an asset in such a way? There must have been some sort of need for exit liquidity here. I'm starting to think that this was some kind of exit liquidity play short term. Yes, it may be a position long term, but I think there was an exit liquidity play here, because it just doesn't make sense for him to use the words Ethereum's having its Bitcoin moment. If you go and look at when Bitcoin was 4K, look at the rally it done. Who are you talking to, right? You're talking to anybody who doesn't understand the market cap, because the price of Bitcoin when it was 4K is completely different to the market cap of Ethereum. Market cap of Ethereum at 4,000 is absolutely insane. Even today, the market cap is huge. The market cap of Ethereum is 224 billion even today. And the market cap of Solana, to put that into perspective, is 44 billion today. Look at the difference in that. And the target for Solana this cycle, like the potential floor, is $15 to $20 billion. So imagine seeing Solana at 15 to 20 billion and ETH is 200 billion. That doesn't make sense. Why would ETH be 10x Solana's market cap when Solana was doing 10x, much more than 10x, the amount of user adoption? And it's faster, it's cheaper, it's winning institutional clients. It was like in one of the, it was in the top app, it was in the top of the top apps in the FOMO. I think on the App Store. I think it even got into like the top 5 or something. It might have even been top 3, with Phantom. That kind of adoption and that onboarding is something that's desired by companies, and they pay a lot of money to get to that level. It's not easy to do. So many companies launch and fail. I've worked for crypto companies that have spent hundreds and hundreds of thousands just trying to get some users on board, and they struggle to even get a few thousand users. So to make it into the top 3 or 5 of the App Store and be at 44 billion market cap, and your competition is almost not being used by anyone, is at 224 billion. Either Solana is massively undervalued or Ethereum is extremely overvalued. And I would argue Ethereum is extremely overvalued, and there needs to be a massive, massive drop in price to catch up with the market cap. And Solana has no support. There's no support all the way down from here, right? It rallied really fast. So what happens in these kind of bear markets is it is going to go back and try and find support somewhere, and that potentially could drag Ethereum down as well, because people will start saying, hey, how can there be this much of a gap between these two blockchains, especially when one is being used by millions and millions of more users, right? So 2 trades there. I think Solana is going to come down. I think Ethereum is going to come down. As you guys know, I'm short in both of them. I did open another bunch of trades, guys. I probably shouldn't have. I'm definitely over trading, but last night the futures opened and it looked savage, and it started to open really, really red. So I expected that we were going to have a bad day today. So I did take some shorts last minute before I went to bed, and luckily I woke up and the market was absolutely tanking. So it was a bit degen, but the market looked like it was going to come down. So I wanted to be in some more shorts. As you guys know, I'm still expecting us to come lower. It's just becoming a very dangerous time to trade because everyone is shorting, and when everyone is shorting, it's kind of the odds are a little bit against you. I mean, in a bear market, the odds are for you because most altcoins are going to come down 99%. But when everyone's shorting, if the market makers have the money, now they might not have the money to push the prices up right now. We haven't seen a big relief rally. We haven't seen any of these crazy pumps. They might just be completely getting out of the market. They might be de-risking and completely getting out. I don't know, but we haven't seen a push from the exchanges or market makers, and they're very good at this, so they might choose the exact right time to do it. But for now, we don't see any of that. We don't see any kind of bids here. They might be waiting for 50k. Who knows? Maybe they are waiting for Bitcoin to come down to 50k. Maybe they want ETH to come down to 1k. We do have some longs. There is some crazy idiots taking massive longs, which is what we need, right? We need these people to be long in order to pay us our shorts. My shorts are doing quite well. I put these on last night, and you can see my Solana short is already $10,000 in profit. My Ethereum short's $7,000. My Hyperliquid short is $11,000 in profit. And AVAX, I put that on today, guys. So this is a new one. I actually took 2 more shorts today. I took 2 more today, so I've posted them in my Discord. So jump in the Discord if you want to see the new shorts that I posted. But it's crazy. I took these trades yesterday, last night even. 10, 27, like $30,000 in a day. Not even a day, right? It's half a day. Absolutely insane. And the thing I love about that is this could go and return 300, 400,000, right? If Ethereum comes down to 1k, I'll make 200 on the Ethereum trade. I'll make 250 or $300,000. And then I've got the other shorts as well, right? Solana, Hyperliquid. So, all in all, it could be around $400,000. But now I can't lose because I set my stop losses to my entry, right? So all my stop losses are at my entry. If the price goes against me, if the trade goes against me, I lose absolutely nothing. And if the price goes where I'm expecting it to go to the downside, then I'll make 400k. My problem is if I've been taking profits when it gets to like 100k, I've been taking profits because it is a lot of money to me. So it's very difficult to hold them. I just cashed in that other 70k like 2 days ago. I've cashed that in. That's banked. And I've just opened these new ones now, and I want to hold it open to 1k. It's just, man, I'm so used to seeing these market makers and exchanges rally the price up over and over and over again when you're trying to get into these short positions. So we'll see. Look, maybe I'll close it. Maybe I'll hold it open. It is a lot easier because I just cashed in that 70k a couple of days ago, right? So, that 70k plus this 30k, I made 100k in the last few weeks. Crazy. So yeah, I'm in that short. Oh yeah, I want to show you guys the longs. These guys are still longs. Let's go and have a look at their liquidations so we can kind of figure out a potential target, right? The exchanges might try and liquidate them if we do take this burn to the downside. So this trader is currently 7% in a loss. This is good. They're in a $9 million loss, so they're probably not going to close it. The more they go into a loss, the harder it is for them to close, right? And, they haven't added to their positions. They haven't done anything so far. So they might potentially hold these open. We want them really to go into like a 40-50% loss, because then it becomes very, very likely that the exchanges, the market makers will bring the price down to hit their liquidations. Because if someone's in a 50% loss, let's say they're down 50 million, 40 million, they're probably not going to close that trade. It becomes... you become full of hope. You're like, damn, I'm down 40-50 million. I messed this up. I thought ETH was bottoming. I took too much of a risk. I'm just going to hold it and see what happens. Surely it's not coming down to 1K. You can't kind of but fathom that number, right? Because Tom Lee was buying at 4K. Surely it's not coming down to 1K. And these are, I don't think these are smart money wallets or institutions. I think they are just generic rich wallets. If it was a smart trader, then hey, maybe I'd be a little bit more. They're probably going to close it out. They're probably going to cut the size a bit. But these look like just generic, normal people with a lot of money, right? I don't see any smart data here. Let's go and have a look at their liquidation price. So let's look at this wallet. So this wallet's liquidation price is 1.36K. So that's quite a nice target for us to come down to. It's not quite the 1K we want to see. But that 1.3K level was really, really interesting. Same with this wallet, 1.35K. And I believe on Hyperliquid, they might get liquidated slightly before. So they might even get liquidated at 1.4K. Well, this guy's 1.35 and the other one's 1.3. So you're looking at a range between 1.3 and 1.4. If we push 1.3 and 1.4, we might as well come down and liquidate everyone at 1K eventually. There just might be a bounce after that. If they liquidate these two accounts, there might be a bounce off this, right? Because this is $230 million. It's a lot of money. And it's, it's like a magnet in a bear market getting drawn to the longs. We have a couple more nice ones here. We have a $24 million long. That's in a 2% loss. $20 million long here, 27% loss. That's good. They're probably going to hold that open to liquidation. $18 million loss, 6%. Sorry, $18 million long, 6%. $17 million long. Oh, that's nice. This one's in a 54% loss. Let's go and check their liquidation because they're probably likely going to hold that open into liquidation. Their liquidation's 1.39 as well. Damn, man. There's a lot of money building up around that level. That's kind of juicy. Are there any other big shorts here? $11 million. This one gets liquidated at 1.3K. Notice how they all have similar liquidations. Do you know why? Because they got sucked into the bull trap. They got sucked into, when the market makers pump the price and they do these fake little weekend pumps, they suck traders into thinking that it's bullish, and they even can make the volume and liquidity look bullish, and traders take longs, and some traders take very big longs, and it looks like you're going to have a relief rally. They kind of fake a relief rally and people try to long. And then they go into disbelief and they hold their positions open. 1.3, 1.4 is looking juicy, guys. How is this where this bottomed as well? Yeah, look at this. This is where this other wick is, guys. This is insane, man. I'm not even going to go into too much detail because I'm going to post it in my community because, those guys are paying to be members. So I'm sure you can kind of work out what I'm planning to do. But, yeah, that's a lovely setup. That's an absolutely beautiful setup. I still think we can come down to 1K. I think we are probably going to come down to 1K. We'll probably see a lot of longs at 1K. So again, what we'll do is we'll go and analyze what's going on in the system, and we'll look where everyone's liquidations are. A lot of people will long 1K because it's a big psychological number. So there's definitely an incentive there to liquidate the longs at 1K. And then I think if we went down into like the 900, 800s, people would be in disbelief, and also people would start to lose faith in Ethereum. And that's kind of an area psychologically where I get really interested. When people are like, what the hell? How low can this go? We've lost a K. I never thought it'd go below a K. I took a long at a K and I got liquidated. What is this? Oh man, I might just short it, right? and then that's when it gets you. That's when it gets you. Really hard to long the bottoms, guys, but I'm gonna try. I am gonna try this cycle. I think that's it. I'll keep you guys posted. Let's see if we come down to 1.3, 1.4. I really like this. This helps me hold my shorts open because Kalshi is basically saying I have a 40% chance of making $400,000. Like, that's insane. Just from a bunch of short positions that I can't even lose on now, right? Because I just moved my stop loss to entry. I need to YOLO one of these big trades, and I think this is looking good. This is looking good. I might melt as we get down. If we get down to like 1.4, I might start to melt. We'll see. We'll see. It'll be a lot of money down here. I think I'll already be on 300k if it came down here. We're looking good, guys. The bear market is looking good. As we've been talking about on the channel, it's all kind of played out perfectly. Look at this video I posted today. It's crazy. I keep finding these videos. I talked about this over and over again on my channel, so congratulations if you were following along. Let me see. You should be able to hear this. Let me play this.
Situation. We just had this massive move to the upside. Okay, massive move to the upside. Things don't just go like this. Okay, they don't just go up in a straight line. We have cool downs, we have pullbacks. Now, how interesting is this? Our support line here, very similar to what we had last cycle, actually would line up with the retest of the previous all-time high, so around 72k. I'll say 74k, 75k, because it may get front run. Just like we sold, we tried to front run the market. Some people try to front run the buys when you actually see the capitulation and the crash, because a lot of people, believe it or not, will not flip bearish until we get down here. Most of the market will be bearish. You know, we just looked at a lot of the bullishness that was in the market when we were taking profits. A lot of people in the space will be giving up, calling for a bear market when we get down to these levels, just as we were buying down here, right? So this is all lining up too well for me to ignore this chart. I am expecting a pullback to sort of this kind of level and then a push back to the upside. And it's going to look very similar to this, guys, right? It makes sense. It's going to look very similar to this. Now, if this move plays out, right, let's say we call this, we take profits on the shorts, it pushes to the upside, and this is going to be a massive area of resistance. Whenever we tap this top line, it's going to be a massive area of resistance because it was the top last cycle as well. Okay, it was the literal top. And a lot of people are going to be looking at this. And what happens when a lot of people are looking at a chart, sometimes it becomes, again, a self-fulfilling prophecy and it plays out. This would take us to somewhere between 120k and 125k. Now that's my bull case, okay? That's my bull case, and if that plays out, we would make an absolute colossal amount of money, okay? Because then we would...
Crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy. What a cycle. Let's hope we can do one of these roadmaps again for the next ball. It's hard to do until you get like a little bit of the way into the market, because you need to find your bull run trend line. You see where we pulled back here to this line here? This is where we found our bull run trend line. We took longs here. This is where I made my biggest long position. I think I made 250k. That really got me set up for taking leverage trades this cycle. And we nailed that. And I think we took profit quite high up here as well. We held it for ages. Once you get this trend line, you normally come back to the trend line, okay? That's what we want to see again next cycle. And then you can kind of work out where the top of the market's going to be. So, you know, we had a little bit of luck on our side because, look, market makers could do what they want with this whole roadmap, right? The market cap of Bitcoin is so small now compared to gold. We had a little bit of luck that the market makers and BlackRock and that didn't start playing too many games with us, and it just played out exactly as it did last cycle. Maybe they wanted to copy this. Maybe they wanted it to play out like it did last cycle, so that so it has a chance of a 75% correction. Maybe that's what they want. Now, I don't know if we're going to see a 75% correction. I think we're at around 50% at the moment. You know, but I would expect us to get quite close to it, considering we topped where we were supposed to. We topped the same area last cycle, so why wouldn't we have the same sort of correction as previous cycle? Now, the corrections are slightly diminishing, and I think they're dropping by 6-7%. So, you know, you could argue a 69% correction, 68% correction, whatever, if we continue to drop by that amount. But something we have this cycle that we didn't have last cycle is the quantum FUD. We've had all of the catalysts arrive. It's a massive sell the news event. Trump was literally on TV saying never sell your Bitcoin. You can't make it up. You can't make the stuff up that happened this cycle. We got ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, nation states. It's been insane. So it's a massive sell the news event. Now we have quantum FUD that we didn't have last cycle. And yeah, we could have a 75% correction. It's on the cards. I just find it hard to believe that none of these institutions are going to DCA. You've got a battle between the DCAers and the de-riskers who have been holding a long time, de-risking because of the quantum fears. I mean, who's going to hold $1 billion in Bitcoin if there's a 10% chance that it could go to zero if it got hacked? It can go to zero, but it could go down 80-90% in a couple of days. Is if it got hacked by quantum, and you're probably not going to hear about quantum hacking it until it actually happens, right? You're probably going to wake up and find the price is down 80% because it got hacked by a new country that had technology that we didn't know about. So yeah, it's like buying a house in Manhattan. If you go and buy a house in Manhattan, fantastic. It's probably going to appreciate, right? No one would argue with you that the property price is not going to appreciate, by what, 10, 20, 30% a year, whatever, over the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. It's a limited amount of space, and you have this property that is in an area that has high demand. But what if the council came around, the land department, and said, hey, just to let you know, we just found a volcano under your Manhattan apartments, and there's a 10% chance it could go off in the next 5 years. We can't insure you. So if it does go off, you will lose all of your money. You won't be insured for any of it. What are they going to do? Are they going to sit and, it's only a 10% chance, might as well risk it? Or are they going to de-risk? Now, I know most smart money in institutions would just go and buy some property elsewhere, right? They would go, for example, if we look at that comparison with the stock market, they would just take money out of Bitcoin and go and put it in stock market, go and put it into AI. And we're seeing some miners do that. I saw a miner came out and sold all of their Bitcoin recently. It was a lot of Bitcoin as well. I think it was close to $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, and they're moving it into the AI sector, just as I just compared. So yeah. It's a hard one to predict. It's also hard to know when quantum's going to be here. Maybe it's not even here in 7-10 years. I think it's a lot closer, hence the amount of action that's being taken from the entities. I don't think you would see so much action being taken, including disclaimers from BlackRock, if it wasn't that close. Vitalik's a bit loose with information, and he kind of said he expects it to happen in a couple of years. So you might get more honesty out of Vitalik in terms of dates. Also, Elon said he disagreed with how far away it was. Elon is a bit of a loose lip, so he might drop some stuff if he gets some inside information. So yeah, those could be leading indicators, but it's going to be hard. It's good for us because, hey, if they de-risk now and we have a crap bear market, what happens if it becomes quantum resistant? What happens when Solana becomes quantum resistant? Because it's probably going to become quantum resistant before Bitcoin. It's going to be juicy, right? It's going to be juicy because they have no option but to accumulate. If it becomes quantum resistant, the banks have no option. They can't let it run away. They can't let retail run away with this new digital gold that's, unhackable, transferable anywhere, liquid. They have to accumulate. They will have to accumulate. Right now, they don't have to because we have this massive problem pending. But yeah, they'll have to accumulate. So I think it's really going to be good times if they can solve this issue. And I'll do more videos on what they need to do because it's a hard problem to solve with the current state of Bitcoin. And it might be good for smaller blockchains because if Bitcoin becomes even slower and more expensive because it's now having to transfer all this data, the old wallets are probably going to get hacked. There's no way to get around the old wallets getting hacked because you can't just go and delete people's accounts and money, just because they've not been around. Some of them might be in a coma, some of them just might not be in touch with the market, and you can't just go and freeze and close people's accounts, right? So there's no solution there. Maybe there will be. Let's see what the councils come back with, but as far as I can see, there's no solution apart from that money's just going to get hacked eventually by quantum, which was also a great opportunity for me personally on us because we are swing traders, right? We're leveraging these moves. The more volatility, the better it is for trading. Not so great for exchanges, but the greater it is for trading. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting 5 years, and we're going to have to be on the ball with everything. We're going to have to be on the ball with quantum when the market looks like it's going to bottom. We're going to have to be on the ball with these insiders, the whales that are trading, where their liquidation levels are. But I think if we compile all this data together, it really gives us a nice grasp on the market. Guys, if you want to join us, you want to see my buy and sell alerts, you want to see what trades I'm taking, when I'm taking trades, when I'm taking shorts, you can jump in our community. We're all looking for trades in there. We're all trading. We're looking for stocks. We're looking for updates. I've also got a professional leverage trader in there. It's not just me. Head over to my Twitter, and then at the top of my page, search this one, not the top one, search this one, and that will take you to my Twitter. And then click this link here, and then if you scroll down, it says join the Discord. Then you can join the Discord. I've got a course in this link as well. If you're interested in doing a beginner to pro course, there's one in there as well. We sold all our crypto, so we're getting ready. We sold all our crypto and started short in the market. So we're now getting ready to start buying again. We started actually selling in March 2024. And we started to DCA out of the market. So in March 24, January 25, and then we sold our last batch. I think Bitcoin price was around 110K when we sold our last batch. So, it's nearly down 50% from there, which is crazy. So yeah, we're getting ready to buy. I don't know when that's going to be. It's probably going to be in the next 3 to 5 months, I would expect. Might be sooner. I just let the data guide me, and the data should tell us. When to get in. Look at that. I posted saying TP 50K back in October the 30th. My entry price, look at that, $111,000, and I was saying TP 50K. We're almost there, guys. We're almost at my take profit target. Absolutely crazy. Am I going to buy at 50K? We'll see, guys. If I buy anything, it's always going to be in my Discord first, and then I'll post about it later. I wish I'd have held this ETH short open longer as well, because we started to short 4.45K ETH, 1 to 2% as well. Oh mate, so much money. If it comes down to 1K, that is literally insane returns, man. Absolutely insane returns. Yeah. That's it for now, guys. None of the information on this video is financial advice. Do your own research. Investing in crypto, investing in anything is highly risky. You can lose all of your money investing in anything. I'm not a financial advisor. If you like the video, if you want me to do more videos, drop a like. Drop in the comments what you want me to do videos about, because that really helps me know what you guys want me to talk about. And yeah, that's it for now. Until then, I'll catch you in the next one.